We're in southwest Montana, bigfooting in the middle of a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. Dozens of years, well, even 100 years of Bigfoot sightings in this area. We set up our camp, and we actually didn't make it to this spot last night, but we got pretty close, and now we're where we actually want to be. It snowed last night, it rained, it's already snowed a little bit today. It's still officially summertime. It's the coldest day and the first snow that we've had all summer long. It's going to be summer for about another 20 days. It's September, Bigfoot sighting hotspot. We're going to start a fire. This is where we're going to camp and put up some game cameras, and we're going to use this as our base camp for several days while we Bigfoot in this part of Montana.
Yay, snapping!
Flames. It's going. Did you hear that?
I did.
That was not an elk. That sounded like a Bigfoot. I'm restarting the camera. It might have caught that. I'm keeping the camera going. We just got a freaking vocalization. That was a freaking roar. I want to show you guys some of the equipment we're just getting ready to set up for the night. Alright, we're in a bear spot even when we're not. You know, usually if it's a Bigfoot spot, you know, you need your mace. It's supposed to be more effective than the gun, and we're not going to be all flashy and show you our handgun or our shotgun, but we have one of each. But you know, you should really, if you can, mace the bear first, mountain lion, or, you know, a raunchy bull, moose, or whatever it is. Moose kill more people than bears and mountain lions, supposedly. So, you know, hit them with mace, give them a chance to live another day. If they keep the attack on, that's when you go lethal. But, you know, if an animal gets maced and you thwart an attack, I don't think that animal is ever going to come near a human again. So, you're doing everybody a favor, you know, if you mace an attacking animal. And we've got our spotlights. One of our night vision cameras, by the way, you guys are watching through a night vision camera. It uses infrared. And then I've got about, you know, I got a little over a dozen game cameras strung out in Bigfoot sighting hotspots that I think are, that I deem worthy of having some cameras permanently in. But I always travel with 2 game cameras to set up around my camp. You know, the first, studying Bigfoot sighting reports, the biggest sighting or the number one sighting is random road crossings. The second most common sighting is a curious Bigfoot coming near your camp or in your camp at night. So I always set up a couple of game cameras near camp, and I always watch for spots that make sense for me for an animal or a Bigfoot to sneak up under cover, because even at night they're going to still use the cover of the bushes and the trees to come check out your camp. So strategic places. I know everybody thinks a Bigfoot can sense the game cameras. It's obvious when you use game cameras, other animals sense them, whether it's they hear them, smell them, or whatever. So I'm not going to throw in the towel. Everything makes a mistake. I'm sure Bigfoot even makes a mistake. So this game camera right here, it works fastest on the trigger mechanism on photos. So I'm going to set this one on photos. And then this one, its specialty is video. And it has a pretty fast trigger. It's actually got a faster trigger than the other one on photo, and it's a stealth cam. And what I like about it is the trigger mechanism. When it goes off, you don't hear it. At least I don't hear it. Maybe something with better hearing hears it, but I don't hear it go off. And then there isn't an LED indicator. A lot of them right under the lens has an LED indicator when the camera starts to function, whether it's to take a picture or video. So this has neither of those, so I think it has a lot going for it. So anyway, we're going to set up those around camp, and we're going to be here for several days, and we've already heard some vocalizations here. Hopefully the camera picked up one of those. So yeah, keep watching. We're going to keep on squatching. This is our camp. Got a really nice fire going. It's supposed to get below freezing tonight. I don't know, like 30 degrees Fahrenheit or so. That's actually warm for wintertime camping, but it's cold for summertime camping. I mean, we got 20 more days of summer, and it snowed last night, it snowed today, and it's supposed to snow again. But I'm just going out to the edge of camp. I want to show you where I have some game cameras. And these game cameras are for something that's curious about the camp and comes and checks us out. And I know, everybody's like, oh, nothing's going to come near your camp. But that's the second to the most reported type sightings of Bigfoot. And last November, when I was tent camping or backpack camping in these little tents with Les Stroud, I set up a game camera outside of camp, just barely outside, and so did he. So did Les Stroud, and we captured 3 pictures of a mountain lion that come in checking us out at night. The ghost of the Rockies. The Native Americans called it the ghost of the Rockies, and they're around, you just never see them. But our game cameras don't blink. And here's another game camera. I'm having a hard time getting to it. It's too thick right there. But there's 100,000 possibilities of a direction something's going to come into camp, and I only reserve 2 game cameras to watch my camp. And it's going to watch off that direction. See if I can get some more light over there for y'all. But anyway, both of these game cameras have about 55 feet. I want to show you around a Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization campsite when we go Bigfooting. And we love remote places. Just a couple of us. This one it's just me and Jenny. It's usually 2, 3, sometimes as many as 6. We really don't go more than that. We're not into the, let's bring everybody and have a seminar and have 20-25 people. It's just a small group, but I want to show you around. This is our living room. This is our living room, hun Jenny, and that's our heat source, and also what we cook off of. And here's our fuel. You know, big old stack of firewood, logs, chopped, this and that. And then here's our bathroom. See if I can find it for you. I could probably smell my way. There's our potty. And the way you flush that toilet, we got a little spade that we keep over by the fire, but when you go to the bathroom, you know, you take your toilet paper and your shovel and you come out here, you dig a hole. Hot dog roasters. It's our kitchen. This is where we prepare everything. Table. And we keep a lot of our supplies in totes.
One's a kitchen and one's a utility.
Yeah. One's a utility, one's a kitchen, and we use totes because you can keep them outside the tent and they can get rained on or whatever, and it keeps everything dry. And of course you don't want to keep anything, food or grease or whatever, anything that a bear or any type of animal would like, you know, because you want to keep your food in a bear box, which we went and strung up earlier today. We should have filmed that. But there's actually our kitchen, our plates, some wipies, some soap, you know, whatever. And then there's our water jug. Okay, and this is our bedroom. Look at this giant tent we're staying in. That's the lap of luxury for bigfooting. We've got sleeping bags and a blanket and each. On either side of us, we keep mace, a light, and a firearm. I hope you enjoyed a look around the RMSO campsite when we go bigfooting. We like remote locations. Our closest neighbor, there's a guy camping 12 miles south of us. We haven't been very far north of here. You know, we found the spot that we needed, set up camp here. So don't know how far our north neighbor is, but we haven't seen the hint nor a hair of a campfire, and we haven't heard anyone else since we've been up here. This is what the inside of an RMSO tent looks like. Camping in a Bigfoot sighting hot spots. Supposedly Teddy Roosevelt's buddy Bauman was trapping here, and his buddy got killed by a wild man. The description today would be Bigfoot. And then even, you know, that was 130 years ago or whatever it was, and even still today there's Bigfoot sightings in this area. We're getting ready to watch Legend of Boggy Creek before we actually go to bed on Jenny's Kendall. You got it going for us? If you haven't seen Legend of Boggy Creek, you need to. Go buy it, go rent it.
I've probably watched it enough times for everybody in the world. It's my bedtime story.
This happened in Fouke, Arkansas. Brody just lives a few hours from Fouke, Arkansas on the Texas side, and we're going to set up a Bigfoot expedition out there with Brody. Alright, this is our entertainment system when we're bigfooting. Alright, well, keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching. You got to see what an RMSO living room, bathroom, and where we sleep when we bigfoot in remote places in our tiny little tent. We survived in Montana. It was a really cold night. It got below 0 Celsius, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, but hey, we stayed warm. And I just want to walk around our camp and show you what it looks like. Bathroom over there, our power supply and cooking fuel right there, the fire, the bedroom, the kitchen, river's off that way. We're gonna do some hiking and exploring today and look for anything Bigfoot or out of the unusual. It's a great place to camp. We heard elk bugling, and then we also heard something roar when we were setting up camp last night off that direction. Hopefully the camera that was rolling at the time picked it up. But yeah, the elk were bugling over there, and unfortunately I didn't capture any of that on camera. The camera wasn't rolling. I flipped the camera on and we had it on for 50 minutes and they wouldn't bugle for us again, but during that 50 minutes some type of a roar from that direction. Not saying it's Bigfoot, of course it could be a bear, and I don't know, maybe a mountain lion. I don't think mountain lions have that deep guttural of a roar. They might. Alright, bigfooting in beautiful Montana. Keep on watching. We'll keep on squatching. Hiking around the general area where the Bauman incident happened, and come across an old trapper's cabin, or old homesteader, or what have you. I doubt it's as old as the 1890s, but who knows. Thought maybe you guys would like to have a look. I can't pass up old ghost houses and stuff. And you know, it may have been a miner's cabin. We'll look around and see if we can figure out how these guys made their living, but it looks a lot like an old trapper cabin to me. Kind of get a little bit of sad feeling when you see someone's old home. You know, you think where the people or the families grew up here. That side's their woodshed.
There's a lot of cut wood in here.
They got a little shed out here in the back. Yeah, little wood shed and a door that accesses it. God, this looks pretty neat back in the day. But yeah, we're not too far from We're not too far from where Bauman and his buddy had their incident while they were trapping 100 years ago. Lots of Bigfoot sightings around here. So, just such a cool place. Looks like they might have gotten more into, I mean, not just trapping, but here's a place where you hang your deer and your elk. It's definitely a hunting camp, and then there's, looks like some sleuths and stuff to work the water. They may have been going, yeah, this looks like an old trommel. So whoever used this place years ago was probably into finding gold, silver, prospecting, hunting, and trapping.
There's an old cowboy hat hanging right up here, and this wood burning stove is in here, but you can't see through this window. You have to go around and look through the front door.
All right. Oh, there's an old stove. I don't think my camera's gonna pick up much in here.
Up there, in the corner.
Aw.
I wouldn't go too far anymore. There's lots of gross one.
There's an old hat.
They feel.
And an old stove.
They feel like the cracks.
The caulking's mud.
There's even dirt there.
That's probably like the best clay mud they could find.
Yeah.
Yep, clay mud and rocks. They did come over it with some type of a...
Plaster.
Yeah.
I think that was probably done later. But originally it was just mud.
Pretty neat. Look at these mountain peaks that are covered in snow. It snowed 2 nights ago. Jenny and I are here the last month of summer, and we've been camping in 0 temperatures at night in a little tent. But that's what Bigfooting's all about. Got to get out where they're being seen, and it seems like we usually follow the snow line all year long when there is a snow line. Alright, well, we're going to keep hiking around and looking for more places of interest in the Bauman Bigfoot location. Kelly Shaw, Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization. I'm up near the Bauman incident that Teddy Roosevelt writes about, where Bauman's trapping buddy gets killed by a Bigfoot. Well, back then they called it a wild man, but today's description, in my opinion, was they had Bigfoot trouble. I've brought you guys here before, but I wasn't actually able to get this far in. I was about 10-15 miles from here. They had a fire going on. when all this happened, and they had access to the area shut down for the fire. I've been researching this area for about 3-4 years now. I believe I'm on my 4th year. I've visited this area 3 times this season so far, but there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings in the area, and it was kind of difficult to find. They say that it happened in the Bitterroot Mountains that are kind of pinched between the Salmon River and the Wisdom River. Well, if you look on maps and stuff, you're not going to see a Wisdom River, you're going to see a Wise River. And I thought, you know, Teddy Roosevelt's made a mistake and called it the Wisdom River instead of the Wise River. Well, the Wise River does empty into the old Wisdom River. It was, the name of the river was changed to Big Hole River. So on today's maps, it's this stretch of Bitterroot Mountains between the Big Hole and the Salmon. And I don't know if this is the exact creek, but I think I'm damn close that it happened on. Him and his buddy come up here trapping beaver because the stories coming out of there is, you know, there was a lot of beaver. A lot of people would not trap the area because local settlers and some of the tribesmen, the Nez Perce, I think back then they called them the Nimipu Indians. You know, they warned people that there was a wild man in there attacking people, killing people, and so did the settlers. But Bauman and his trapping partner come in here anyway, and just the rumors were true. The beaver's real thick. I've been Bigfooting up here the last 2 days, and a lot of beaver activity. So it is a great place even today to trap if you were a trapper. But they were harassed by the Bigfoot for a couple of days before one of them was killed. They heard themselves getting paralleled, thought they could hear it stomping around the forest a few times. Then one night it was standing right at the mouth of their lean-to, and one of them took a shot at it, and it ran off screaming. I don't know if they hit it. They don't know if they hit it, but anyway, after they shot at it that night, they decided that they needed to get the hell out of there. The next day when they went to get their traps and everything, Bowman's buddy, and I'm sorry I don't know his name, they never write his name, or I haven't come across his name, but he stayed back at camp to button up camp and get it ready to go. They wanted to move their trapping lines about 5 miles down the canyon. This harassment from this wild man that they saw across the river one of the nights, stomping back and forth, and then at the mouth of their lean-to, they just thought it was the time to get out of there. So they split up. Bowman picks up the traps. He comes back, and his buddy's dead. He could see where the footprints come right up. Snapped his buddy's neck, even bit him on the neck when he snapped it, and then there was evidence of the creature jumping up and down on his buddy's body and act of glee or whatever. So a pretty raunchy Bigfoot. And this happened over 100 years ago, around the turn of the century, last century, like the 1890s is when this happened. But I've done several Bigfoot sighting reports. I've visited the locations where people have reported either being attacked by a wild man or the Bigfoot being very aggressive. The stretch between Salmon, Idaho and Missoula, Montana, a lot of aggressive Bigfoot activity. And then these last 2 summers, a lot of people disappearing in this area. Not saying it's Bigfoot. I mean, there are wolves, grizzlies, bear, and mountain lion, and a couple was killed not too far from where I'm standing, actually about 10-12 miles this direction, in the Salmon direction. A couple was mauled and killed by a grizzly last summer. So there's a whole host of reasons why these people could be missing, but they happen to be missing near the famous Bauman Bigfoot incident where a Bigfoot supposedly killed someone. I'm going to pick up the camera and I'm going to show you guys around. It's a very beautiful place. Now, telling the story, I know I got the timeline a little bit wrong. They shot a creature the first night it was harassing them, that it was standing outside their lean-to, and then the next day they decided to stay together and go service all the trap lines. Decided to stick together that second day, and that's when they got paralleled and messed with all that day and into the evening. That evening it was stomping back and forth across the river, and they were getting glimpses of its silhouette and so forth. And that's when the next day they just decided, let's get our gear and get out of here. And you know, I don't know why they didn't stick together the third day, but they you know, Bauman did mention that he did mention to get out of there quicker. That one decided that he decided to go get the traps. Well, his buddy packed up the camp and stuff for him. So anyways, it makes me question, you know, is there an aggressive lineage of Bigfoot? You know, do they teach their youngsters to be aggressive towards men? Is it in their DNA? Is it still happening today? I know there's still Bigfoot sightings in this area today. All right, well, we've been tent camping. We've been roughing it. You know, we're not staying in a campground. We're staying by the creek, and you know, brought our own porta potty and all that. That's how I like to Bigfoot. Very small groups, remote places, Bigfoot sighting hot spots. You know, it's damn near impossible to get a Bigfoot sighting. You're not going to find a Bigfoot if you're just sitting at home watching reruns of Finding Bigfoot. You got to get out there, and if I'm putting myself in places that Bigfoot is being seen, hopefully that increases my odds by 1 or 2%. But that's what it's going to take to find a Bigfoot, in my opinion. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoy the Bauman Bigfoot area. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching. We like to, small groups, we're not into these, let's invite 20 people and have this big powwow. We just don't think the odds stack in your favor when you bring that kind of people in. You know, we like to keep our numbers 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 at the max. And this expedition to Montana, there's just 2 of us, and you know, you need a big stack of wood, especially last night it snowed, and it's still summertime, but you know, we're at a high elevation, we're in Montana, and we're glad it snowed. There's 39 fires that have been reported, and that are being fought in this state, so the snow and the rain is good. Had a great day of Bigfooting. We got the closest we've ever been to the Bauman location. There's actually, we've narrowed it down to a 10-mile strip along the Montana-Idaho border. I'm confident we're the closest we've ever been. Don't know if we'll be able to ever find the exact spot. You know, the people it happened to, and along with Teddy Roosevelt, they're no longer with us. Making a fire. We were supposed to get rain and snow tonight, and hopefully the weatherman's wrong. He was right on Friday. We got rain and snow on Friday, and then last night it just got cold. It rained a little bit before we went to bed, and then dropped down to about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the third morning. It's at the end of our Bigfoot expedition to the southern part of Montana where the Bauman incident happened, where the Bigfoot supposedly killed Bauman's trapping partner. Really cold night last night. Below freezing. Both nights got below freezing, like about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty damn cold for summer. This is the last month of summer. We're in September. We did a lot of hiking and stuff yesterday, looking around the area. We'll do a lot of expeditions here because there is a lot of Bigfoot sightings in the general area and around the general area where the Bauman incident happened. And I believe we've gotten closest to the exact spot that the Bauman incident happened than any other Bigfooter that I know of. About a 10-mile stretch of really great beaver trapping country between the Wisdom River and the Salmon River. It's the Bitterroot Mountains that's sandwiched between these two rivers, you know, and you look on a map, you're not going to see Wisdom River. You'll see the Wise River, and that's not the river. The Wisdom River is now the Big Hole River. It got its name changed, so that was kind of a challenge in the beginning of finding the exact spot that this all took place in, is because of the name change. But it's really cold this morning, so we're getting a late start, letting the sun kind of warm things up and dry the tent out. It rained a little bit last night before the temperatures really dropped. I'm sure the mountain peaks are going to have a little bit more snow than they got Friday and Saturday night. Keep on watching. We'll keep on coming back to these Bigfoot sighting spots. We're really roughing up, by the way. That's our toilet right there. You know, we're not in a campground. And then here's our tent. You know, just looking at our tent, you know, you can tell that Bigfooters aren't rich. This tent's 25 years old. I bought it when I was 17. Let me see. Yeah, 20 years old maybe, something like that. But, you know, we put an extra tarp on it. And we like a tarp underneath our tents. But let me walk around and show you guys what's going on. When we showed up, we heard an elk bellow twice right across the river over here. And of course the camera's not rolling. And then we turned the camera on and we filmed us setting up the camp. And you know, the whole 2 hours we're setting up the camp, you don't hear the bugle again. Although we were filming when we heard a big old growl or whatever it was across this way. I don't know, maybe a bear. This is a place that they give you a lot of bear warnings. There's grizzly bears here. A couple was killed by a grizzly bear in this general area last year, not too far from here. But yeah, heard an elk bugle twice over here, so I started the camera, and you know, we're gonna try and keep a camera going the whole time. I've got one filming the weather system set up on the other side of the camp, and we're going to put up a couple of game cameras while we're camped here the next 3 days. Excuse me. Oh, Jenny said she heard a sage hand. Oh, okay. Yeah, Jenny heard a sage hand and now she spotted it. And to me, this is easy Bigfoot food.
Easy anybody food.
Yeah, if we were playing Survivor. Oh, look, it's got chicks too. If we were playing Survivor, Jenny would go on the other side of this, or I would. I'd go around the willow, and then she would go this way, and we would try to throw a stone or a stick at them and try and break their neck.
No, they're not very fast.
And they taste good. Tastes like chicken.
Oh, here comes another one.
Yeah, look, they're just walking right into our camp, you guys. These are the types of location that we like to camp. You're not going to find us camping in a concrete pad. Oh, that one got spooked. Did you see it? Just zoom. She's communicating with her babies. Alright, and then I'm going to show you the camera that I got going. Since we've had some vocalizations, two we recognized, a couple of elk bugles, and one was like a roar or a growl, you know, and I'm just like, that's Bigfoot, you know. But it very well could be a bear, and there's grizzlies and black bears in this area. You know, we're not very far from Yellowstone, the Tetons, and glaciers north of here. But I've got this one filming the storm system. And I want to keep it going. This is the direction that we heard the vocalization over there. So this camera's mic is actually faced in a good direction if it does it again. And this camera was running, by the way, in camp while we were making our fire. So if we do hear the vocalization on there, we'll be happy to share it with you. And then there's a river running back here. Yeah, this is bear habitat and moose habitat, so I know viewers want me to be stone quiet like I'm stalking Bigfoot, but I gotta keep in mind, I gotta make a little bit of noise for the bears and the moose to hear me coming, because you surprise one, especially a moose with a youngster or a mama bear with a youngster, you're done for. But isn't this just a beautiful place? I love bigfooting in Montana.